So, spawning down in the bottom right hand position, representing Team Liquid, it is none other than Snute. And his opponent, up to the top left, the yellow Zerg representing CSC, Minato. So a lot of cool stuff going on, and I am acutely aware that one of my overlays is messed up. I will fix that for all future games. All you're missing under here, luckily, is not too much. I'm actually going to just minimize that overlay for the moment. It's because I'm still on my WCS, of course, observer interface, which is never too good to do. You can tell I've been doing quite a bit of it already, so hopefully I'll get that fixed up nice and quick, and it shouldn't be too long. But this game, for the moment, we are just sitting with Minato and Snute both opening up with a very standard play, just grabbing down those overlords nice and quick, neither taking a spawning pool or a hatchery for the moment. So for the time being, this is looking pretty standard and pretty safe. Whether they go for a hatch first, we'll wait and see. Hatch first on Frost is very viable because it's a big 4-position spawn map. You're safe doing so. Minato throwing out the heart there, which is always cool. If you rally up your unit to the heart, then you're definitely a very cool person, and I like you a lot. Snute, meanwhile, no hatch coming down as of yet. Instead, he is busy getting down a spawning pool, so he's going to get a slightly earlier queen. Now, there are some to and fro's, backwards and forwards, about whether or not a hatch first is actually any more economical than getting down a spawning pool first at a later point. Now, that may seem crazy for anyone initially, but bear with me for a minute. The reason why some players see there being not much economic difference is because getting the spawning pool first means you get the queen earlier. And by getting the queen down sooner, you also then get the inject, you get more lava. Getting more lava means you're going to be getting yourself into a very nice spot. So getting the hatch down means you've got a later queen, but you've got that extra base fractionally sooner. So over a longer game, it does actually level out to be pretty similar, and therefore most players, or a lot of players, will often opt for that spawning pool first, apart from on giant maps like Frost, where you can be running into some interesting stuff, say with obviously just being able to get this down so safely. Now, for the moment, we are just getting drones coming down. Snute is going to be adding in the 2 lings. Of course, his spawning pool is done sooner than that of Minato's. No gases at the moment for either player. Snute just taking his first one now, so he's going to be getting fractionally ahead in terms of the timing of speed, as well as getting the queen down. His second queen starts straight away up, and the first one comes down to the natural base. That's because you want to get the walking out the way first. That's the best thing to do. The second queen should be popping in time, or just after this inject stuff, so not a huge delay there. The first queen, of course, banking up a bit more energy. Neither player, as of yet, have scouted the other, because they are obviously in the cross-spawn positions of a very large map, so it will take a while for them to get back and forth and find out all the information. But for the most part, they're both happily droning. We're currently sitting at 23 to 20 drones in favor of Minato. This is a best of 1, it's worth adding, so there's not going to be any subsequent game. It's a round of 128, I believe. I'm just double checking that. No, it's actually around a 64, so it is still best of 1 until the quarterfinals. A couple of lings are going to be making their way up into the main base of Snute. Going to get a little scout around, see the gas, don't see a shimmering spawning pool as of yet, and that's something the Minato is going to be keeping a good eye out for. Shimmering now starts, drones are pulled, and this is ideally what Minato would have been looking for, is whether or not drones had got pulled. Minato, though, he's got the double gases out, he doesn't yet have his speed started. Snute running about with 1 ling, 1 zergling managing to make it up into the main. Again, he's going to be checking to see whether or not that spawning pool is shimmering. Won't see it as of yet, and that's what you're keeping an eye out for, because if you know speed's on its way down, then you're going to be able to basically start assuming a couple of things. If you've got still drones in that gas, while speed has already started, then there's the potential for a bailing follow-up or something along those lines. If the drones are pulled, it's masses of... Well, if the drones are pulled out of gas, then your opponent's probably going to be droning quite heavily, or maybe going for a lot of speedlings. But what they're not going to have is tech of any form. So Snute did get a nice little kill on one of Minato's overlords there that temporarily supply blocked him. Double Evolution Chamber has been cancelled in exchange for a Bailing Nest, so this is quite cool. Snute adding in a good number more Zerglings, as well as this third hatch. I'm not sure if Minato has seen it yet. Yeah, he has, so he's got that information. He knows that the third hatch is down, and that's a very greedy early third. That came down, like, about 5 minutes 40, which is exceptionally early in a ZvZ, and therefore Minato's going to be trying to punish that. He knows that if Snute has basically tied up a lot of his resources into that third hatch nice and early on, then as a result, he's got a few problems when it comes to trying to defend, but Snute, he's counteracting that by getting so many Zerglings of his own now, 22 on the way, and he's going to be pushing in. Minato should have been seeing this, knows that there's a couple of Lings already on their way through, upgrades similar on both sides, but the Baneling Nest is done for Minato. He's adding on a couple more Lings, up to 38 now to the 21 of Snute. Snute does not have a Baneling Nest back at home, nor is his Road Warren yet finished, so he's not going to have a decent number of units out in order to defend this. He's basically defending with Speedlings up against a Ling Bling all in, and I'm calling it a Baneling all in because look at this, 17 Banelings, more Zerglings in production as well. Snute doing his utmost to try and stop this, but of course those Banelings are going to be morphing pretty soon, and he's nervous about that. Backs away, needs to try and trade as best he can. A couple of Banelings getting taken down for individual Zerglings, that's exactly what he wants, but there are still so many Banelings here, 14 on the field. Snute going to be trying to trade, he's trying to pick off reinforcements as he comes through, but he's got to deal with these Zerglings, with these Banelings. Nice little wall up here, but they come crashing through. The Queens are not going to be able to stop them. Nice splits on these drones at the moment, but the Banelings coming through, getting some detonations, not the greatest trades as of yet. The main base getting split, so quite a lot of lost mining time, but all in all, those Banelings only managed to kill 2 workers. Minato not going to be too happy about that. Snute now up 44 to 35 workers, and he's still got his third. But damage now being done by a couple of Speedlings streaming in towards that third base. Damage going to be coming through. Whether it will be enough, though, we'll wait and see. But it looks like, yes, it will. And Liquid Snute is going to take the victory and advance forward another round.